Dear Prime Minister Saab, as our nation, along with the world, faces an unprecedented, grave, and growing existential threat, and as you, along with other distinguished leaders, weigh momentous choices, decisions, and trade offs of great complexity entailing consequences, outcomes, and human impact of an unimaginable scale and nature, from Karachi, the Kai's shining city of lights, or more in truth, the bruised, battered, and betrayed megapolis of the Republic. Anyway, from posh, pulverized Clifton 7, and from the bottom of my heart, my most respectful salams. PM Saab, I'm taking the liberty through the roving winds of cyberspace to address you directly. As after an exhaustive search of the vast and impressive tribe of ministers, advisors, special assistants, other worthy intermediaries, and distinguished medicine men, there does not appear to be anyone responsible for, 67-year-old active filers in good standing with the nice folks at the FBR. Anyway, PM Saab, it is my most ardent prayer that at this most challenging time for our nation, the Almighty bestows on your grace additional measures of forbearance, courage, strength, and wisdom. Respected PM Saab, my daughter is currently trapped in the US of A, where darkness, the wrath of Allah, some would say, is descending, and where a certifiable lunatic is presiding over a health disaster and a rapidly unfolding economic and social meltdown, to say nothing of a constitutional crisis, and where our landing carrier holds no, where our national carrier holds no landing rights. Flying from the land of the free to the land of the pure is thus currently, to say the least, extremely problematic. At the moment, only Qatar appears to be consider flying here. The government's official website states that flights from the US are being negotiated with Qatar, but long on encouraging platitudes on their concern and good wishes, which is nice, but short on details, departures, dates, and destinations, thus further exacerbating the plight of and torture of elderly souls like myself, who desperately need the comfort and company of family as we endure these extraordinarily alarming times. Prime Minister Saab, my daughter desperately needs to come home, and we desperately need clarity. PM Saab, I'm sure it has not escaped your attention that in the current global raging pandemic, no country in the world, rich, poor, north, south, Islamic, capitalist, Buddhist, Brahmin, or Bolshevik, has denied citizens who wish to return. Rather, all are strenuously working to bring them home. Prime Minister Saab, we seek no undue special favor. There exist legal constitutional rights for citizens, and one would hope a moral obligation on the part of the government to facilitate their return without let or hindrance, as our green passports exhort others to do. Prime Minister Saab, cargo flights from Toronto are coming back empty for lack of testing facilities at our airports. Your Excellency, with the greatest possible respect, we seem to lack more than testing facilities. Some in your administration seem to be wanting a few brain cells, to say nothing of human compassion. From a risk management point of view, respected PM, the environment in which international air passengers are received and processed is relatively controlled, a low-risk one. As someone who is familiar with the methodology of gauging, evaluating, and quantifying risk, I can say with some confidence it's infinitely less risky than, say, allowing a religious gathering to assemble and gather and disperse in the heart of the Punjab, infecting God knows how many people. The planned Taraweehs in the holy month are also not entirely risk-free. PM, to deny citizens entry, which constructively is what a flight ban entails, is, in the present circumstances, cruel and inhuman. And PM Saab, you're known as a compassionate person. So please open our airspace so my daughter can return to my loving arms. She's in great distress and already been sufficiently traumatized. 3 flight cancellations, the first one due to a demand for a test which no one takes, 2 closures of airspaces and extensions of closures, causing grief, doubt, and pain. There are many students in the US who, in these deeply troubling times, urgently need to rejoin their families. I believe it is in your power to enable this. PM Saad, with my daughter with me, we can endure anything under your leadership. even your leadership. I'm sorry, PM Saab, that was a flippant remark, inappropriate at this stage when so many people are suffering. PM Saab, I'm 67 years old. All my life I've seen people suffer in this country, whether from floods, earthquakes. In the former East Pakistan, I've seen people neatly decapitated because of the corrugated tin roofs of it flies around and they're lethal. I believe you provided something very precious, but also extremely fragile, can be extremely fragile to the people in this country. It's called hope. And for those of us who follow sporting teams, I followed Pakistan hockey when we were great, Pakistan cricket and a certain football team in the northwest of England. And sometimes it's a hope that kills you. But PM Saab, I'll more than hope, I'll pray, because after the earthquake, devastating earthquake in October 2005, there was a feeling that we'd come together and something good and positive would emerge out of this, a better Pakistan. Well, it didn't help. It didn't happen then. I will more than hope, I'll pray sincerely that under your leadership it will. PM Saab, I would pray that the Almighty guides your hand, keeps it steady on the tiller as you steered us through this global tempest. We'll inshallah emerge stronger. Pakistan Payandabad. Thank you, PM Saab.